I tossed Markiplier my busted burner phone, the one-eyed Frankenstein, back together with duct tape and hope after the haunted Tamagotchi incident that left my wallpaper flickering with pixel ghost faces for weeks. "Keep the ringer on," I told him, already inching toward my bike, feeling the weight of the moment settle on my shoulders. "And if it starts playing the Minecraft cave sounds, do not pick up." His eyes, my eyes actually, which was still way too weird after the body swap fiasco last month, locked onto me with an intensity that made me feel like a bug under a magnifying glass. He clutched the phone like it might explode. I tore out of the driveway, the screen door slamming behind me so hard the whole frame shuddered, the noise echoing through the night, sharp and sudden, almost like a shotgun cocking and announcing that things were about to get real. The GPS on my phone, perpetually on the edge of dying, dragged me through winding, empty streets to some abandoned elementary school. The place sat squatting in the middle of a weedy lot, windows like black, watching eyes. I could have sworn it didn't exist on Google Maps yesterday, like it had just blinked into existence out of some corrupted file in the universe's code. As I parked, my phone's cracked screen flickered to life, and suddenly, Coryxkenshin's live stream started playing. Not Twitch, not YouTube, nothing official, just this sketchy, glitching app called Viewer.exe that had appeared in my app drawer at 3 a.m., right between my calculator and a suspiciously named Calculator Plus dot. The stream was a jittery, stuttering mess, but I could see Cory, katana flashing in the sickly green glow of the fluorescent lights, facing down something that looked like Baldi from those weird internet games. Except this Baldi was all wrong. Its skin bubbled and warped, as if it had been microwaved for too long, and its ruler twitched in its hand like it was barely holding together. The school's corridors were a maze of peeling linoleum and abandoned lunchboxes, the air thick with that musty, sweet smell of rotting paper and old milk. I crashed through the cafeteria doors just as Baldi lunged at Cory. Cory's katana, worn from 1,000 gaming sessions and a few actual ghost fights, sliced clean through its neck. But instead of dropping, the head split right down the middle, multiplying into a writhing mass of pixelated faces, each one with a too-wide grin that stretched and cracked. They all started chanting, "1, 2, 3, you can't cut me!" in a perfect, echoing harmony that made the hairs on my arms stand up. Cory, sweat dripping down his face, backflipped over a lunch table with the kind of casual skill that said he'd done it way too many times before. He landed next to me, eyes wide. "Bro," he gasped, catching his breath. "This dude's glitching hard. Like hard enough to crash my whole setup." Baldi's body stretched, its arms glitching out, snaking across the tables in impossible ways, moving through trays and chairs like they were made of smoke. The cafeteria lights flickered overhead, buzzing with static that made my teeth hurt. I yanked out the USB I'd stolen from Markiplier's streaming rig, still sticky with something that smelled like fried circuit boards and burnt popcorn. "Stall him," I hissed, shoving it into an ancient projector that looked like it hadn't been used since the school was last alive. I half expected sparks to fly or for the thing to just explode, but instead, it hummed to life, projecting a massive, grainy image onto the cracked whiteboard. Suddenly, Cory's own face, ripped straight from a deleted live stream, eyes wide in a moment of panic, filled the screen, looming over the cafeteria like some digital ghost. Baldi froze in mid-lunge, ruler pointed at Cory's throat. All those pixelated heads snapped around in unison to glare at the projection, their eyes darkening, pupils collapsing inward until they looked like tiny black holes, sucking in the light from the room. The chanting faltered, glitched, and for a split second, it sounded like they were speaking in binary. "Now!" I shouted, feeling my heart drum in my chest. Cory didn't hesitate. His katana flashed, not slicing this time but moving deliberately, dragging through the air as if he was highlighting files on a desktop. Each movement seemed to drag pieces of Baldi's code straight off his body and into the beam of light. The creature screamed, dozens of mouths screeching in digital static, as its body fell apart into a pile of writhing, screeching polygons, sucked into the hungry glow of the projector. The cafeteria shook, lights bursting in a rain of sparks, the whole room smelling like burning arcade cabinets and melting plastic. Not bad, Cory said, flicking his katana so that a glob of pixel sludge splattered onto the cracked linoleum. He tried to play it cool, but the relief in his eyes was obvious. The room was silent except for our ragged breathing and the distant hum of the projector winding down. I wiped my sweaty hands on my jeans, feeling the phantom tingle of static electricity from whatever the USB had done to the projector. For a second, I wondered if I'd ever get the digital taste of ozone out of my mouth. "You got plans next Tuesday?" I asked, trying to sound casual, like this was just another boring calendar reminder and not an open invitation to risk life and limb hunting digital monsters. My voice shook a little, betraying the adrenaline still coursing through me. Cory glanced up at the flickering neon exit sign, his face washed in ghostly pink and green, the edges of his form blurring as if the projector's code was still trying to grab him. "What, you mean brunch or fighting some demonic SpongeBob and his evil cartoon army?" he asked, a tired smile breaking through the exhaustion. "Option B," I said, grinning despite myself. The thought of facing another corrupted childhood icon didn't seem so bad with him at my side. He shot me a thumbs up, his grin stretching wide, bright with the wild relief that only comes after surviving something impossible. "I'm in, man," he said, like it was the easiest decision in the world, and for a second, it almost felt like it was.